Last month, my supplement brand made $694,000. I'm not super stoked about it. It was down from the previous month, but it was super profitable. Let's talk about it. The Shopify store did about 449,000 and Amazon was 243. So that brings our October total to just a hair under $700,000. This has been down the last couple of months. If I give you a recap over the last 90 days, August was 1.1, September was 990, and now October about 700. Here's a screenshot covering those couple of months roughly, and I'll put up some other stuff as well. And if you don't already know, I do these updates every single month. So if you want to learn from an actual operator who is posting the good, the bad, and the very shitty, because there's a lot of that, then follow along. Make sure to subscribe, like the video so that YouTube recommends it to you. And let's jump in. I'm going to run you through a couple of things that didn't go well and why things are down, and then we'll run through some more stuff. Battle number one has actually been developer and integrations relating to our landing pages and subscription widgets. This is a really stupid issue to have, but it's also weirdly complex. So this business is supplements. Supplements people take over and over. It's very expensive to acquire a customer for this online because it's very competitive. So our business model is basically try to roughly break even on ads, and then we get people to take a subscription, or naturally they come back. We have a really high, like wickedly high returning customer rate, which I'll show you in a second. And well, if the subscription widget's broken and these functions don't work properly and the landing pages look horrible, lower conversion, lower people taking the subscription, and just a worse customer experience. And this has been plaguing us for like 2 months now. It's really, really stupid. There's a long story I can get into on why it's occurring with the subscription app that we chose to use because of the data we wanted. Nonetheless, that's been issue number one relating to why there was such a decrease in revenue. Now, battle number two has been the Meta Andromeda update. A lot of people say Andromeda. Meta's direct reps called it Andromeda, so we're gonna go with that. Basically, they slow rolled this out and tested it all through Q2, and then in July, the first week of July, we noticed a fat performance drop, and basically everybody else I know had the same thing. We went from spending $20,000 to $22,000 a day on ads to just slowly ticking down for the next couple of months because performance was struggling, and that's one of the big reasons why we started also having those developer issues around that time. But basically, our front end spend has been reduced to very little because ads have completely changed. We've had to test a lot. We're still doing that. I had to make a lot of new SOPs, change how we're testing ad creatives and how we're making them, the style. Performance has been picking up for us a little bit recently, but I'll talk about this in detail later in this video. So if you're running meta ads, I'm going to hit on this because it's been a big pain in my ass, and we've worked a lot on trying to solve this and get around the update. So that's a big thing, and yeah, now we're finally back on TikTok Shop as well. This is actually where the brand launched. It was only on TikTok for a couple of months. Had a super annoying violation. It was total BS, and it took us down for a few months. So we finally got back on and getting some early sales coming in. And we got TikTok to give us an exemption for D2C brands that do $10 million or more a year off of TikTok. And so it took like 45 days to get this approved, but we had to submit all these documents and go through this horrendous process that was supposed to take a week. And basically we're now allowed to do unlimited stuff. Like previously they limit your messaging, so it's slower to get affiliates on board and stuff like that. So we can kind of hit the ground running now, which is really cool. In October, I also invested $66,800 of company funds in cash into some new product development. Super excited here. Part of this, like 44 of that, is only half of a payment on inventory, so the total contract value is more. But we're working on a new product, super excited for what's to come. Basically just using the profits from the business to grow it. Like that's the goal. I don't need to take money out of this company. I haven't. That's not the goal. The goal is growth, right? And if you grow a business and keep your eye on profits, keep your eye on customer experience, like in a long enough time horizon, you will win. So excited for what's to come there. We also did get our third renewal order from a retail location. This is cool. We're not going hard into retail. We are not working with a buyer. We're not working with any groups. This is purely inbound. People who ask us, supplements, so just being transparent, there's gyms that reach out and ask. If somebody reaches out, happy to do it. For us, it's more a branding play than it is a money play, but it's been cool to see retail orders that are not huge. You know, they're not ordering, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth, but it's something. And then to see someone re-up again and then order a third batch of our product is really cool because their customers like it. So that's awesome. You know, it's just cool content and branding for us. But ultimately, the disappointing decrease in revenue, you know, revenue is kind of a vanity metric, but it does matter in this business because new customer acquisition matters a ton, especially with subscriptions. So it's really just because we're spending a lot less on cold traffic. And let me break that down for you financially. And by the way, if you guys appreciate these updates, you know, like the transparency here, I'd appreciate if you drop a like and subscribe. Obviously, that'll help YouTube show you more of these every month when I do it, but I don't know, it'll let me know that you like them. So subscriptions that were billed, $204,000 just on our website. Right? So these are from previous customers that we had already paid for. You can take your wild guesses at what the margin are. It's high, right? We don't have any marketing cost on these. Granted, we give people a discount on the subscription, but it's It's healthy. And this is not including Amazon. I honestly have to check. We have an Amazon guy that runs stuff, but last I checked, Amazon's 30 to 45,000 a month in subscriptions. So tack that on top. Meta ad spend. Meta is the big lever in the business. When we were, a year ago doing 40 grand a month, right? And that was through TikTok, Amazon, and like some small Instagram influencers pushing to the Shopify store. I was like, Meta's the lever. That's how I've scaled my businesses for 8 years straight, 9 years straight. I've spent a lot of money there. And like, I know that that's the scalable thing. And so I worked on it for months and yanked the hell out of this. And so Meta's always the biggest piece of spend, but we only spent $93,000 last month, which was a decrease from 191. And this last month, it was 191, was a decrease from like 250, which was a decrease from 540. Like, so we've just gone way small, which is kind of annoying. Meta spent 93, Google spent 40. Which was a very slight decrease. Influencers, we're continuing to work on this. It's a very manual process, but getting more people on small retainer deals that are performing, that can make content for us and actually use Meta's new partnership ads feature. So it kind of looks like the ads are running from their page. There's some creative stuff. It's been working pretty decent for us there. Then Amazon's top line revenue, like I already mentioned, was 243. Amazon is an awesome part of the business. It's very high margin. As long as you have a great product and you get good reviews, Amazon's incredible. We get a lot of spillover traffic from Meta that goes there. A lot of people that want faster shipping or maybe don't trust a website or they don't trust TikTok, they'll go buy off Amazon. And so that's really helped us grab some ranking. And so Amazon's been a very consistent and very profitable piece of this business, which is super awesome. And by the way, if you want further help from an actual operator, fill out the form below this video. I do have a consulting company. We work with people for a 3 to 6 month timeline in a group setting. That group watched me build this brand from zero. They saw the ads, the influencers, the performance, the products, the landing pages. They've seen all that. So if you want to have us directly work with you, we can introduce you to manufacturing things for supplements, for beauty products, 3PLs, trademark attorneys, everything you need with hundreds of SOP videos and breakdowns on what we do to run this company. You can fill out a form down below for that. I'd recommend a budget of at least 10 grand in total. And then we also have a school group. I think it's $50 a month. You can get a taste, compact course content, a lot of good stuff on there. You get a one-on-one call when you join and then access to a group where you can ask questions. So we do some stuff there. And another big win for this month that came out of the coaching group that we have is last month there was 3, this month there's another 2 brands that are live, not in creation, like live on the market, starting to make early sales. And then one of the guys from last month is already at 460 orders, which is super cool. Like he's starting to move some units, which is awesome. So we help people launch these custom brands that are defensible, long-term, cash flow, subscriptions, etc. Now, a couple important things for you. We're going into Q4. It was a slow start. It was, honestly. Now, with the general ad platform issues, I don't really know a single brand that had a good September. October was a little bit better, and it's just been getting better naturally across everybody that I know. But it was a slow start for us. Going into Q4, we're launching a lot of landing pages. We've been slowly doing a couple of offer testing. We're definitely working on a lot of new ad creatives and systems for that. So there's a lot of testing still going on right now. Our big quarter should actually be Q1 in the health space. New Year's transformations, you kind of lead that and segue into like the summer bodies and the transformations there. So people are a little more conscious of their health into the new year than Q4. So we'll still do well, but it was a slow start. Now, Andromeda, as I promised, I'll give you some updates on this. This has it completely changed the way that ads are run. And this is where it's interesting. Like there's regular updates a couple times a year, but like rarely every 1 to 2 years is there like a big shift. And I think that the big shifts always wreak havoc for a few months and they kind of level out and it'll get better. So even if we didn't change anything, it should naturally get better. That's just what I've seen over the last 8 or 9 years. But with Andromeda, they really changed a couple of things. Number one, they don't want you to rehash the same piece of content 100 different times. Previously, we had a video that worked. We would take it, it's crushing it. We'd have our editor splice it up, do a long version, do a short version, keep that hook, but change the rest of the video. Do it with subtitles, without, with pop-ups, with a border that has text. You can do a lot of little things and they don't like that because it's still the same core content, right? So we haven't had as many new winning creatives video-wise in the last month. We've had a fair bit of static images. So image ad spend has become a lot higher for us, which is interesting because Meta typically likes videos. What they're looking for is more completely unique pieces of content, and this is a big one, with everything positioned differently. And what I mean by that is your ad copy and your headline, right? Typically we'd have one kind of generic ad copy, talks about the product, hey, get a discount, like go shop now. And we would just use that on everything. We'd duplicate it, we'd just change the creative and all the copy stays the same. Now we're having to take a ton of time. And if we're launching 30 new videos, you're writing 30 new pieces of ad copy, 4 different split tested headlines, because you can have multiple in there. Like there's a lot of changes. And so it takes a ton more time to do that, to kind of give Meta what they want. And we're testing ad creatives a little differently. Instead of dripping them in, 2, 3 at a time, maybe twice a week week I throw in a couple new ad creatives. I'm doing it less often, but I'll throw in 10 or 20. They're all different and all have different copies. And that's been working better. I don't quite have the data to really tell you how amazing it's working, but it's for sure been better. And so that is what they're looking for, is more raw content, less polished, and more unique creatives that are not rehashed 100 different ways. So for that reason, it's been a little better and easier and faster for us to spin up like ad creatives that are images using AI, but food for thought, I'll just give you that. Amazon. Like I already talked about this. I mean, this is just an awesome, awesome thing. Like, it's huge for supplement brands. You get ranking. That's the stability. If I show you our Amazon graph, I'm gonna have my phone on me. I'll put it up. Like, it's been just general trend upwards, very consistent. And no matter what happens on our front end with Meta now, we'll at least be pretty darn consistent on Amazon because we have ranking and there's just, that platform pushes a lot of consistency. Now they take like over 30% of our revenue on Amazon in fees. It's crazy, but whatever. It works. Now, looking ahead, here's just a couple details. Like, our Meta team is running smooth, which has been good. Our media buyers, they're doing a decent job. Push and spend slowly back up. So we've been working it back up. Performance has gotten a little better. We have some insane, I spent a lot of money on this, insane 10 out of 10 new landing pages being made right now. Like, blows everything out of the water times 20 that we've ever touched. So that should be live in the next, like, by mid-November. In the next week or so. Very excited to see how that does because that could help fix a lot of our front end issues. The development side of it should be fixed, as well as the looks and conversion rate optimization and everything there. We're also launching our best flavor yet for our primary product. That won't launch until December, maybe later December, but excited to launch a new version of that just because people like it. It gives them more optionality, more opportunity for us to do bundles with different flavors, and I truly believe it's our best flavor. So that should be great from a returning customer perspective. And then scaling Amazon slowly. October was our second best month yet. Again, like, it helps our margin overall in the business because it's super profitable. But like, my goal is to get Amazon in like the next 6 to 12 months. I'd love to see Amazon at $1 million a month. And I think there's going to be two ways we do that. Number one, obviously scaling what's already working and trying to push that up through ads and ranking and outside traffic. So scaling our one main product, but it's also going to be through getting 1 to 2 more other hero products that are leading the charge independently. I think we have 7 products listed on Amazon. And I mean, some of them do 500 a month up to 5,000. They're all small, you know? And so it's like, if we can get 1 or 2 that kind of lead the charge, and the way I'm planning on doing that, just so you know, is to try to get them working with cold traffic. We're gonna do more influencer content. I'm gonna take that content and make AI images, and we're gonna run Meta ads to it. And if I can get it at least breaking even on Meta and prove that concept to improve it, now that's a whole nother vertical in the business, and that'll push a lot of traffic to that on Amazon. So that's the flywheel here and the connectivity between the platforms that I see that's been working really well for us. So that's the plan, is if we can have 2 to 3 total products that are like main front end drivers, that should very easily help us scale, because I'm actually on our company retreat right now for a week up in the mountains, but we're doing a lot of planning and outlining next year, and it's been super fun. And so kind of working backwards off some numbers we want to hit. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, it's in God's hands, and I could kind of care less if it does, you know, I'd care if it did 5 million, but like, if it does 20 million versus 25 versus 30, like, at the end of the day, like, just working in the right direction and giving customers a good experience, like, you're going to do fine in the long run. Obviously, we can set all the targets we want, but being able to kind of have a clear plan and like backups that'll help us get there if for whatever reason this doesn't work, and just doing the effort that's needed to try, you know, like, that's really all we're trying to do here. So it's been a lot of fun building this brand. It's been 90% of my attention for the last year almost. So like, it's what I do. The only other stuff I do, like, I'm not buying any more real estate properties. I'm not doing any side investments. Like, it's this, and then I run the consulting stuff where I just show what I do inside this brand. That's it. It's been pretty fun. So, hey, if you liked the video, if you got value from it, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and drop a like down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I do post updates on my Instagram every single month. So you can kind of actually go to one of my like highlighted reels. You can click through just really fast, and you can see the revenue every single month. So if you want to watch it over the last 12 months, I do it every month, and I pick a banger song that goes behind it. So it's kind of a fun little thing I do. But other than that, I'm gonna get back to enjoying the time up here in the mountains. Both the last 2 nights, we did a night hike and got surrounded by coyotes. I had to chamber around, and they were close. I'm talking 15, 20 yards. You're just seeing eyes in the dark, pitch black. You know, there's mountain lions out here and shit. So it's a little sketchy. Thankfully nothing happened, but we're having a good time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Here's a little sneak peek of the view for you. Gorgeous. We got the baby down there, and we just hike straight out the backyard and go up the mountain. We've also got hot tub, cold plunge, sauna.